yous. Welcome to episode 2 of the Wee Chrissy Show with me, Wee Chrissy, or WC for short. This show has been created with pensioners in mind. For years I've felt that pensioners were not being catered for in the world of podcasting. I want them to feel at home here on my podcast with content they can fully relate to. So here it is. It's my life's work to make oldies more high profile. So I dedicate my podcast to them. It's a packed show today, so let's get started. Oh, Cam, what do you make of my new fit today? That's what the young people call an outfit, isn't it?
It's very you, WC.
I know. Good taste is something that just a few of us are born with. A blazer has good taste written all over it. And if there's one thing I love, it's a good quality blazer. So let's talk about what's been grabbing the headlines recently. What do you make of Mandy, Peter Mandelson, the self-confessed Prince of Darkness? What a lie to start with. Ozzy Osbourne will be turning in his grave. Everyone knows that he is the real and only Prince of Darkness. If he was still alive, he would sue Mandy. I'm sure of it. And now we're being told from those who worked with him that he was a great admirer of the Machiavellian approach to politics. But what did that mean? Well, Google told me this is someone who is characterised as manipulative with a cynical disregard for morality, focused on self-interest and personal gains, and views others as tools to achieve power or goals. How scary is that? And apparently this was his established reputation for years, which he seemed to revel in. Reports say everyone in the political circle knew. Being sacked from government on more than one occasion. What credentials! Unbelievable! Oh yes, Keir Starmer. We can all see why you would select a creature with a background and a reputation like this for a top job like the UK ambassador to the US. How the orange man must have laughed his head off, even just getting a glimpse of him, not even waiting to hear him speak. This is a man not to be trusted with my weekly pension, never mind trusted to represent the UK in any capacity, especially a politically sensitive job with a salary of £250,000 a year. But did Mandy have something in Keir Starmer? It's a possibility and might explain why Keir Starmer chose him. What a huge risk to take, and it blew up right in his face. A massive fox's paw was made, yet Starmer still got his job. His assistant gets sacked. Surely the buck stops with the Prime Minister in such high-profile appointments. But no, he lets the assistant take the heat, and he says he's going nowhere. What kind of world are we living in? I feel totally disillusioned, disgusted and embarrassed by British politics in general. To me, we're at an all-time low. The whole world is laughing at our wokeness. What do you think? Let me know on Instagram. Oh, where are we now? Right. Oh, yes. Andrew, formerly known as Prince. And don't even start me about Andrew, formerly known as Prince. After the accusations being thrown at him and the release of the Epstein files shedding more light on the goings-on of both him and his wife, which to me are almost unbelievable and disgusting, and some of it makes me sick to my stomach. A decent human being would be so embarrassed and ashamed they would be keeping a low profile, but no, not him. He's out riding and he's waving to the public. He really has no shame. His arrogance has convinced him that the rules don't apply to him. Decency and morality don't apply to him. They both think they're untouchable. It's a big problem for the king, and I feel sorry for the two daughters. Imagine having parents like this. So will he go to the US to answer questions? That's what he's been asked to do. And Mandy, the king says he's supporting this. So let's see. I'm sceptical. People like this somehow find ways to escape taking responsibility and facing justice. It's a national disgrace. What do you think? You can contact me on Instagram or whatever way suits you. Am I wrong? No. I am never wrong. Okay, let's calm down. Let's change the subject and move on to the fan zone. This is the part of the show where you, the fans, can get involved. Send in your problems to me, knowing I will give you a no-nonsense, slightly compassionate reply. Just think of me as your own personal ChatGPT. So here's a reminder of the 5 responses that apply to most problems. So tell him or her to beat it. You need to beat it. Save your own skin, get off your mark. Leopards don't change their spots. Put your big boy or big girl pants on and take responsibility. And seek professional help. So let's get on with the first one from Retirement is Pish, Milton.
I hope you can help me, WC. I've just retired this year and I'm struggling to adjust. I find the days long and lonely. I'm also struggling to live off my pension. It's just not enough.
Oh, just listen to you. As far as feeling lonely is concerned, get up off your bahookie and get a job. And financially, is it not a well-established fact that you have to save for your retirement? You only have yourself to blame. You reap what you sow. Number 4 from me. What do you think, Cam?
I'll go with you, WC, a sort of number 4.
Aye, definitely. Next. So let's see what's next. This is Anonymous from Garrahill. Cam.
Please help, WC. I think Universal Credit are after me. I've been working as an eyelash technician on the QT for a while now, but I fell out with one of my customers who complained she couldn't get the false eyelashes off and said I must have used super glue. She says she had to actually rip them off, and all her own eyelashes have come off and she is baldy. She is deaf making this up, as I have had no other complaints from other clients. I have hundreds. She is demanding compensation and says she has dobbed me into Universal Credit, and she's given me terrible reviews as well. She's a pure bitch. This will be a disaster for me if Universal Credit get me.
Oh well, I hope you've enjoyed the high days of taking money from the system and making loads, by the sound of it, on the side. Karma, my dear, what goes around comes around. You seriously can't expect any sympathy from me. You reap what you sow. It's a number 2 for you, dear. Move, disappear. You're for the high jump if they get you. Fans, what do you think? Let us know. So that's they two sorted. You know, people are always asking me about my friendship with Magret, my bestie. It seems you couldn't find 2 women more opposite, and that's very true. But I've got used to her over the years in her funny wee ways. But I think of myself as an alpha. I'm a woman with a mission, an obvious goal. On the other hand, Magret is happy cleaning houses, getting pissed at the weekends and going to the bingo. I'd probably describe her as a Nedess.
That's a bit harsh, Chrissy, to say that about your bestie.
Not at all, Cam. I'm sure this is not news to her. It's glaringly obvious. She can be a wild card, but she's loyal, and that's why I always come to her rescue no matter what time it is. When she's had too much to drink and she starts arguing with people, she could start an argument in an empty house. There's often some fisticuffs, which too I have to sort out. but I've always been there when she needs me. We've been besties for about 40 years now. We fall out and we fall back in, but we'll always be pals. I think that should answer your questions. But now I want to tell you about a situation in my local park that had to be dealt with, and you will just not believe. What's that?
I think that's Magret.
Magret, what do you mean it's urgent? We're right in the middle of filming a podcast. Time is money, Magret. Whoa! Calm down, Magret, calm down. Slow down a minute. There's no need for that bad language, Magret. To be honest, the way you're behaving right now just proves that what I said was true. You are acting like an Edess. But how very dare you bring that up, Magret? You know that story cuts me to the quick and brings back such painful memories. I thought we agreed that that part of my life was dead and buried. And now you're dragging it all up after all these years just because you're angry with me for calling you an Edess. That's it. I'm done with you. Let's see how you got on without me. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. I do apologise for this interruption, everyone. Let's get back on track. So this is a wee story called The Eagle in the Park story. So out of the blue, a park friend appeared at my door. It's Dorothy with her dog Eddie in his dog pram. Uh-oh, what's she doing here? Park friends should be kept strictly in the park. She's crossing a line here. This better be good. And how did she find out where I stayed? I've always made sure I give the most vague answers when asked where I lived to avoid this very situation. Hi, Chrissy. I asked Jason the postie for your address, she said, as if he was reading my mind. Wait till I get my hands on Jason. He's for it. We've been looking for you. You've no been in the park for a few days, she said. I know, Dorothy. I've been busy. Was keeping her and Eddie at the door. Can you come over? There's been a bit of a carry-on. An eagle's been spotted in the park. And they're saying it swooped down that low, it nearly got a hold of Sandra's Pomeranian, Winnie. Are you serious, Dorothy? I've never heard anything so ridiculous. An eagle in a park in Glasgow. Do you know how far-fetched this sounds? I'm saying to myself, in the name of God, what fantasy is this these old duffers have concocted now? Right, who's seen it? Who are the witnesses? Can you just come over, Chrissy? Dorothy asked. Some of them are ready to report this to the police. In the name of God, I say, rolling my eyes to the ceiling. So me and my trusty clipboard made our way over to the park, ready to take down the evidence, if there was any. I saw them assembled at the pitches. My first question, who's seen it? Silence is the reply. Nobody. We only heard about it, was the reply from them. OK, so who did you hear it from? Wilma. Her son's seen it. Wilma steps forward. Aye, my son Lennon's seen it. Lennon the Jakey? I said, bursting out laughing. That's no fair. He's been off it for 2 weeks now, Wilma says defensively, and I believe him. I'm just shaking my head in disbelief. Right, Wilma, tell us what Lennon actually saw and who were the witnesses. He swears an eagle appeared from nowhere, flying about the park at the bit where the dog walkers go. And what did it look like? Pure black, with a wee white bit near its beak. Sounds like he's seen it pretty close up. Aye, he was quite near Winnie when the eagle nearly grabbed her in its giant claws. But Lennon was too quick for the eagle. He grabbed Winnie and protected her. How did I get myself involved in such obvious fiction? So where is Sandra? She's under doctor's orders, one of them says. People are saying the shock of what could have happened to Winnie, nearly snatched by that eagle, has totally floored her. So the only way to settle this was to speak to Sandra, known as a sensible and stable woman. So I had to breach the Park Friends Code myself and go to Sandra's house. Sandra comes to the door looking as fit as a flea. I told her the story. She was wide-eyed with disbelief. No, she knew nothing about it. Her supposed involvement was just a barefaced lie. And Winnie, she was lying snoring on the sofa, blissfully unaware that she had had a narrow escape from an eagle in the park. Sandra just burst out laughing, and to be fair, so did I. The whole thing was just so ridiculous. So I went back to the Dafties to report my findings, saying, never again get me involved in such nonsense. I don't have the time for it. So Wilma took the nip and stomped off, and needless to say, her and Lennon have become somewhat social piranhas after this and keeping their distance. And the moral of that story has to be, if something sounds unbelievable, it probably is. You know, I can't stop thinking about the way Magret spoke to me in that phone earlier. How could she drag up history that only us two know about over nothing? This time, she's gone too far.
Right, Chrissy, come on, TikTok. Time's going.
Aye, you're absolutely right, son. Sorry. And once again, we've run out of time. And I had so much more to say. Thank you for joining me today. It's been great to have your company. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in 2 weeks when we will be back. Meanwhile, keep in touch with me through Instagram, TikTok, and the podcast is available on YouTube and Spotify. Let me leave you with something to think about. Another favourite quote of mine. A lion does not concern himself with the opinion of a sheep. Look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye.